It's Bitcoin Tonight. Welcome back, everyone. That's right, Bitcoin Tonight with the moon guy playing the piano in the McDonald's. All right, not the McDonald's. What's happening? Humble, what's happening? Ulric, you guys ready?
We're going to have to get another song for the jazzy Bitcoin Tonight show.
Okay, we're working on more music. We're working on more music. As soon as Bitcoin goes up, we can afford new music. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
All right. Am I kidding though?
Don't depress me, man.
I know I'm not. That's it's going to be a hopium epic. You know what? After the spaces I was at this afternoon, okay, there is so much bearish, like just people are scared. People are scared. They don't know what to do. They're thinking 40K, 50K. Luke Gromans is freaking selling, right?
Oh,
Michael
man.
storing up cash on the side. What's happening? Okay. Anyways, I don't even know if that's part of the topics that we are going to talk about. But guys, it's Bitcoin Tonight, and we are going to cover a whole bunch of really fun stuff. Ulric and I did an awesome interview with Lawrence Lepard on Friday. Last Friday, we're going to recap that. We're going to talk about some stuff from VP of who is it here? Vance. Vance owns Bitcoin. Pretty sure we already knew that. Anyways, we're gonna have to dive into that. Coinbase PNC news. Salvadorian Christmas. It's a Christmas of propaganda. Anyways, what else? 21 Capital on the New York Stock Exchange. Tornado Cash. Roundabout way to kill Bitcoin. Bitcoin Treasuries sold. Say it ain't so. We are surprised. Anyways, YouTube stablecoin payouts. Kwon Sentenced. Get ready, guys. We've got a whole lot of topics to cover, and we're going to do it. It's going to get spicy. It's going to get petty. You know the deal, though. Before we die, bear slop.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nice.
I like that. Bear slop. I appreciate that. First time said on Pleb Underground. Let's do it. Okay, but guys, in all seriousness, we're going to give some love to the Pleb Underground sponsor, Archimedes Emporium, and we are going to be back for all the bear slop. Let's do it. Pleb Underground is sponsored by Archimedes Emporium. Discover the pinnacle of precision engineering, starting with their Bitcoin logo wall clock, meticulously machined in Maine from a solid block of aerospace-grade aluminum, ensuring unparalleled durability and performance. Experience the difference of a product made without compromise. Head on over to Archimedes Emporium.
All right, guys, let's get into Bitcoin Tonight, episode 2. Hey, there's some things that just came off hot off the presses, and I kind of want to talk about it. NASDAQ decided to take a page out of the cryptocurrency world. The market never sleeps. Should trading, NASDAQ will enable 24-hour trading on the NASDAQ stock market. Now, caveat, that sounds like 24/7. It's actually 24/5. So not full cryptocurrency level trading. There are a lot of funny comments on Twitter. If you search this story, you're going to see how people no longer want to have lives anymore, and wait until America sees what it's like to liquidate an asset at 4 a.m. in the morning. It's going to be wow. Phil, is this good or bad for equities and just and Humble yourself? Well, let's start off with Humble. She missed last week. Humble, what do you think of this?
I think it's crazy. That's just, you're gonna awaken. I don't know. That's just, it's absolutely.
Aren't you used to it? Aren't you used to seeing Bitcoin crash at 3 a.m. in the morning? It's like that's life.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm checking. Right? I'm looking at the charts at 3 in the morning. No, but like seriously, that when I was trading, in the traditional markets, and then I went over into crypto, and Bitcoin. It was nuts. Like people don't sleep. My husband did it at the same time too. So we'd get these trading view notifications, like, oh my gosh, you have to sell. Oh, you have to buy order. What you like? It's crazy. That's what I think. It will be fun. Another, I guess the roller coaster is a little bit more extreme, right?
Well, at least they're giving you weekends. Phil, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised at the weekends, right? Like this is kind of, I feel like they should have just ripped off the Band-Aid, right? And just the 24/7. I don't understand what the 24/5 exactly is going to accomplish. However, Maybe, okay, about this, right? Maybe we look at it in terms of we need more high-powered, high-velocity bread and circuses to keep people engaged in not what's actually happening to them, right? So that way they can stay engaged in the casino. It kind of goes back to something I was thinking, right? It's like, you know how Binance is going to do that like Binance Juniors, right? So like, I think I don't think I talked about this on our Bitcoin Tonight show, but I definitely talked about it on the Daily News. There was a video essentially showing how on Binance, right? Under the age of under the age of 13, you need to have a parental guardian so that you can own crypto assets. And then they put this vague commentary about being able to exchange and trade assets with other parental accounts. So meaning if your account is tied to a parental account, right, which means that you're a child trading assets somehow, it's okay as long as you do that with another account that also has a parent attached to that account. But the point I'm trying to make is that the kid, right, if you grow up in the casino, you never learn that you're in the casino and you never desire leaving the casino. So that to me is the whole point of this, is that like, if you're always there, then you don't have the idea to leave because you always grew up in the casino. So to me, like, this is it's par for the course, right? Like, they don't have a choice. I know that Dieter Bob is talking about how TradFi is trying to compete with crypto. I don't disagree with that, right? They definitely do not want to lose their moat. However, I do also think that it's the aspect of increasing the velocity of the noise. Right. So, because I mean, and also think of it like this, right? If you're trading now 24/7, how many more fees are they going to take?
So much more.
Right.
It doesn't matter if anything goes up or down as long as you're in the middle of it.
Right. And it's going to open new businesses. Oh, go ahead, Humble.
No, I mean, yeah, they're going to have to hire those third shifters and have them very familiar with circuit breakers, right?
Night shift at Goldman Sachs, said Walter. It's going to be wild. And as Dieter alluded to, I missed this part, but they intend to go 24/7 by the end of 2026. Something else came up. I didn't know that Netflix had a committed fan website or committed website to fans called Tudum. You pronounce it Tudum.com, but essentially Netflix is unveiling themselves that they're going to come out with a Netflix rom-com focused on Bitcoin. And while I forgot this being a live show and this being not even barely part-time, I forgot the synopsis, but it stars Jennifer Garner, and it's called One Attempt Remaining. And so if I can summarize off the top of my head, essentially this couple earned some cryptocurrency, that's all they call it, cryptocurrency, on a cruise ship, and then they get divorced at some time in the future. Sometime else later in the future, they realize that cryptocurrency has gone up in value, some that would make them far beyond wealthy, and they join forces together to figure out why they were in love in the first place as they try to figure out that last chance to unlock that seed phrase on probably some sort of cold storage device to access their cryptocurrency funds. Phil, welcome to the generation where Bitcoin is acknowledged as a real world thing by the mainstream propagandists. Is this good or bad for Bitcoin?
Are we going to go with the net positive thing? I mean, look,
I don't want to.
Right? Like in terms of coverage, like in terms of coverage, yay, they're saying Bitcoin, but they've been saying Bitcoin for 7 years.
Maybe they may not even say Bitcoin.
They may not even say, they may say just crypto, which would make it really pathetic.
They may come up with some fake cryptocurrency to try to. In that first part, it's like, hey, they can say whatever they want.
And to your point, somebody is definitely going to make that shitcoin on Solana.
Gonna pump whatever. As soon as they know that project, guess what? It's probably already created.
It's probably already gone to zero. But look, I mean, it's a good. To me, it honestly sounds like a lazy story, right? Like there's so many more, like it's like I genuinely feel like there's such cooler stuff that they could that they could be creating, right? And for some reason we're stuck with these generic crappy stories. Like who cares about this? Like this isn't even, it's not even interesting. So what, they get divorced and now they got to figure out who that, like how to get the seed so they can
probably fall in love again, Phil. I mean, Jennifer Garner needs love too.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I'm pretty sure you think she doesn't have enough love? You think at this moment she doesn't have enough love? Is that what's happening?
She's not too bad.
I mean, I don't really know. I know nothing about celebrities or anything like that. I just, most of the time, I don't even know their names. It's kind of funny because when you originally sent this article, I'm like, what the hell does this have to do with Bitcoin?
It's like, Phil, read the damn synopsis, man. I'm like, are you gaslighting me? Like, I had to read it again just to make sure. Yeah, but like, they did. That's not the point. The point was, read the first paragraph. It's like, this person starts and that person starts. Oh, by the way, it's about like cryptocurrency, blah, blah, blah. Like to us, that should be on the forefront. What are your thoughts? What do you think of Jennifer Garner? Is she a good actress in your eyes?
Oh man, that's tough because the political leanings.
Is she woke?
Yeah.
Can I say woke on you? Am I going to get crushed by the algorithm?
And we're done.
Yeah, there we go. We're done. I mean, you don't want me to open my mouth now.
I see her so many. I was just going to say this. I mean, I watch so much football and basketball that I see her more than anyone because she's like just every commercial break is a Capital One, and it's either her or Samuel L. Jackson. I'm like, I see them more in the commercials than I've seen them in movies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie of Jennifer Garner, if you can remember?
Oh, I don't remember. I do not remember. No.
Come on, 13 going on 30. I've never seen it, but that's the.
Well, wasn't she like a superhero at some point?
She was Elektra. In fact, I finally watched the Deadpool Wolverine on a plane recently, and she reprised her role, and she did, she had her little fight scenes. She's in shape, so she can do the little choreography with, spoiler alert, Wesley Snipes was there looking badass as normal, a little older, but still he had the moves. But it's sad,
I mean, the whole, I guess, putting her aside, okay, I think she's beautiful. She is beautiful, so I'm not putting her aside yet.
Classic Hollywood,
she's beautiful. Yeah. Before I knew better, before I knew more about her, like I thought she was pretty amazing, and she must be a talented actress, right? Her kids are a little different.
Not surprised.
Yeah. She was married to Ben Affleck, right?
Everyone's married to Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay. I think the whole idea, I don't know, the whole idea of the show is just it's ridiculous. It's just sounds so silly. And what point are they trying to get across? Like, is there like an agenda behind this, or are they just trying to jump on board because it's trending?
It's a Bitcoin's a household name, crypto is a household name, but heaven forbid they talk about, hey, Bitcoin is created because central banks suck. That would Netflix would probably lose a lot of their insider funding, and it's like, hey, we're going to cancel you. So it's like, you kind of have to watch what you say. That Netflix obviously knows what Bitcoin's about because they've had plenty of movies released about, plenty of documentaries, and they avoid the actual crux of why it was created in the first place. Because institutions and governments, they continually cheat us. But Netflix, in bed with them, obviously, they don't want you to know that Bitcoin is supposed to be the savior for the people. It's supposed to be the people's money. But, when will they capitulate? They'll probably be the last ones. They're the grand propagandists. They're about to buy HBO. No one will be able to stop them.
No, man. Wow.
Yeah. Rourke hit the nail on the head, though. It sounds like a Hallmark movie, and it totally does. I mean,
at least Hallmark movies have a little bit of, like, as you said last week, Phil, a little bit of family values, a little bit of like, hey, it's not. We're not trying to completely brainwash you. Yeah, maybe it's unrealistic, but at least we're not trying to, to turn you into communist dystopian.
It's just really bad acting.
Bean count.
Yeah.
Phil may have found the use case for this movie, and I think I'm going to agree with him. I'll tell my dad about it, and I'm sure it's going to be the same reaction. Phil said he told his parents they're in their 70s and they're actually looking forward to watching this movie.
Yeah.
So, what's interesting though? Like they have to have this like powerful woman role. So how dumb is the guy gonna look in this movie, right? That's what I like. They've got to do that because that's part of the whole narrative that they're on right now.
Yeah, yeah. I was the last the last rom-com I probably will ever see is Fly Me to the Moon with Scarlett Johansson, I think, and they had the guy who I forgot what his name is, but I think he was the one who did Magic Mike. And he was an absolute imbecile. Not to say he probably is in real life, but the way they portrayed him, they really emasculated what a strong male figure is supposed to be, and they essentially turned him into a stuffed animal. It's really sad, Hollywood, and it makes me wonder how bad they're going to make the cryptocurrency look, where it's probably going to look like a scam, a gambling mechanism, which 90% of them are. But we know that this is portrayed off the stories that we've seen for Bitcoin over the years. And so it's like Bitcoin is a good thing. I think we can all agree who's watching and who's on this show, but I don't think Netflix is going to let that narrative go. So it's a shame.
Yeah, it is.
So earlier, was it Friday? Only a few days ago, we had the privilege of interviewing Lawrence Lepard, talk about his book, Big Print, talk about some memories where I met Phil and Lawrence at the Bitcoin 2022. We had probably talked to him for about an hour and a half. He was very fun. I think it was a net positive for the channel. We had a lot of viewers. He retweeted the show, so we can honestly call him a friend of the show. We're happy to have him back whenever in the future. We didn't get to talk about a lot of things, Bitcoin treasuries. We didn't get to talk about his perspective that he thinks the cycles are over, and I kind of agree with him. Phil, let's just say that we wanted to extend that talk. In a nutshell, cycles over, yes or no? And then Humble.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's part of the conversation that we were having today in Spaces. Cycles over, right? So look, I mean, there's the aspect of it that would say, maybe some of us are grasping at straws and looking for anything that we can to validate our hopium, right? I mean, that's the way I could see it, right? I look for things that validate my point, right? And I try to make it so that they're not so outlandish. But the thing is this, right? Like at some point, and this kind of goes back to something that I didn't really know initially, but I ended up learning. But that whole initial pump to 20K, like, yeah, it was a lot of retail, but there was a lot of manipulation in that initial pump for Bitcoin to go to 20K. And again, I'm not saying, for me, it's like manipulation goes both ways, right? Markets get manipulated higher, they get manipulated lower. It's not. I'm not saying like, oh, it's evil and or right. It's not about that. This is just what happens. Okay, like it's human behavior, it's dynamics, it's markets. That's what it is. But the thing is that I can't help but feel that we are setting up for a much bigger move, because in December of 2024, and this is only like recently when I only looked this up like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, damn. I'm like, December of 2024, the average Bitcoin price was $93,500. It's a straight line the whole entire year. And if you go take a look at the yearly candle, it's this thin. It's just all it is just it's just a thin line with like no body to it. So it's almost like a giant indecision candle.
Right.
Okay. Like, and again, I'm not
giant
saying
consolidation.
Right. Like, could it be right? Or it's just indicating that people aren't sure whether it's going to go higher or lower in the near term. But to me, I'm not seeing the typical signs. And, like, I just don't necessarily believe that this particular cycle is over. And again, this is something, we started our run before the halving. We reached a new high price prior to the halving.
That's right.
Then,
first time ever.
Right. And then on top of that, our pullback, the only major pullback we had was to 80K. We bounced back up, and now we're back here again. And over the span of a year, we've pretty much stayed flat.
Yeah.
So this kind of looks like it to me looks like we're building support. And again, I'm trying to keep my own hopium in check, right? I'm trying.
What about you?
Obviously, I hold Bitcoin, so of course I want what I'm saying to be accurate and to be true, so that NGU and all that good stuff. So it's so tough. Like, but it's
Still the hopium dealer. What about you?
I'm reading Verhoofdy Floofen's. Well, first of all, his name is just awesome. Makes you want to laugh. But what the hell is going on in here? So
that's right.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Verhoofdy Floofen. I feel like I should be saying that with a different accent. What would that be? Verhoofdy Floofen. Oh yeah.
Hold on. There he goes.
Okay, sorry.
There.
Everybody's
let me click.
Verhoofdy Floofen.
Hoofdy Floofen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man.
Humble.
So cycles.
That's how we feel every day.
Wonderful cycles. I don't know. I live in my own little world when it comes to that, because I think with institutions, everything that's going on, it's just so different. So yeah, I don't think that we can say that those cycles are happening anymore, because it is different. It's totally different. And I'm still waiting for it to go down to 20 to 30K, like I said last time. So yeah, gotta buy some more.
Is there a mute button? Because we're gonna mute her right now, because that's way too. No, we're not gonna mute her.
Imagine what would happen. Imagine
extreme bearishness from Miss HumbleWarrior.
Yeah,
I'm hearing other people call for 30 and 40K. I'm hearing some people that were super bullish that are calling for 40K. Right?
Yeah.
These people are broken, Phil. Their heart has been torn out by the treasury companies and the not the CIFDNs, the
oh my god,
all the Larry Finks promising 700K, and here's my take.
What would have to happen to get it to 40? Okay,
say what now?
No, what would have to happen to get it down to 40? What do you think would happen to get it down?
In my
to 40?
opinion, World War III.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. You need a solid. Like, we would need a financial crisis, it would have to be
everyone is claiming, like, that's my money. No, that's my money. Like, 4 people are claiming the same dollar, and only one person has it. That's what I think.
Okay.
That's my opinion. I think that here's my thing. The cycles are over as we've seen, because we have now gone past the days in which we will have which we have traditionally had an all-time high. Now, guess what? Maybe it can just be extended and add to the database as to when our peak is, if we have, like some people are saying, a Christmas pump. But as we get to January, February, if it curves back up in a natural way without literally, a V, not even a V, a straight line, what I see it to be is a Bitcoin asset now impacted by traditional markets, now impacted by ETFs, now impacted by treasury companies that will essentially start trading it according to the things that they think are relevant. And so the crypto world owned Bitcoin before, until, right now it's the institutions that own Bitcoin and how they shall value it henceforth. Because cycles are over, that means I don't think that we go down to, a horrible number like 40, you would say, Humble. And I don't think we also would go up to 300,000 or 400,000 overnight. I think we would stay somewhere in the middle and kind of gradually move up over time. And that's it. Phil, you added something to the screen, I see. What are you talking about?
That is the 6-month Bitcoin chart. So every candle is 6 months of Bitcoin action.
That's not good. I mean, that means that the next candle has to open lower than the
This is a very bad one.
Yeah. And the yearly one was what you had before, right? Because you were noting a very skinny.
Yes.
It is a descending tip. What is it called?
Look at this.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, that's the old 3-year on, 1-year off, and this is breaking that as well. So there's a lot of things that are breaking, like in terms of, hey, what do we expect if we topped out at 180, we could probably still say the cycle's still going. If we topped out at October or even before, we should have topped down in April and October if it was a real cycle. So I just feel like if we go back up again in like February to 150, or March or April, that ain't no cycle. That's something different. So anyways, chart me harder, bro. Yeah. In other words, stop the charts, Phil. You don't.
No, I wrote back. I told him I'm charting so hard,
bro. We're gonna post it, bro. I'm
the only person who can talk to us like that is Verhoofdy Floofin. Okay.
Yeah, and Verhoofdy. Verhoofdy is the one coming with the signal right here. A bank run could bring it down. Yeah, bank run could bring it to 40K. JM, absolutely. Coinbase blow up.
I don't think they're gonna let. Even if Coinbase blows up, they're not gonna let us know.
It's gonna be a contagion. It would have to be a contagion. Right? Yeah. It's not just one player, right? Like that's what we've seen in every single instance. It's always a contagion. It's not just like one company all of a sudden and then that's it. It's because everybody had their hands in the cookie jar of that company, and now the company just moved that cookie jar, and like there you go, and it falls apart. So
I don't think that Coinbase is blowing up anytime soon. I just feel like if they did, that would be equivalent to like JP Morgan blowing up. Anyways.
Yeah.
We've stuck on that one a long time. Let's move on. We got a special guest appearance for Lawrence Lepard on Friday, JD Vance today. And JD Vance, the Vice President of the United States, says, I'm an owner of Bitcoin. Check this video out.
People love crypto. I know some smart people actually have reservations about it. Sure. For our audience, can you just kind of make the case for crypto and people who have, concerns and quite frankly don't even understand it? There are a lot of folks out there. I know a lot of people own it, but
yeah, of course. So look, I'm an owner of Bitcoin here, but I'm also the Vice President of the United States. So I want to be careful, but I think the core value proposition of cryptocurrency is that it's a way of transacting and a way of storing value in a modern digital age. Look, 100 years ago, if you wanted to go and buy something, you put a dollar bill on the table, you put a gold coin on the table. The value proposition of Bitcoin is that it can serve the same function, but in a digital age, a way that's secure, that's safer from fraud, that allows people to buy and sell and store value, but in a way that's consistent with the modern technological age that we live in. Now, having said that, I fully accept there are risks to all of these things. There are always risks to new technologies. Our approach in the Trump administration is to say, let people innovate. Let people figure this stuff out on their own. If the critics of Bitcoin are right, I happen to think that they're wrong. That will eventually win out in the marketplace. If the advocates of Bitcoin are right, and I happen to agree with them, if they make their case, that's eventually going to win out in the marketplace. What you shouldn't have is a dictatorial government that tells certain industries they're not allowed to do what they need to do. You've got to let people make these decisions on their own, and that's sort of been our approach.
That's good enough. Look, I in my opinion, I don't think he said anything wrong. Let the free market of money reign. I'm not saying cancel the dollar. I'm not saying cancel Ethereum or Solana or any of those things. Let people do their business, and do the best. The government should do the best that they can to weed out frauds and weed out scams, in which Bitcoin is none of that. And I think that him saying that is generally, 4 years ago, you would never think you would have heard that on Fox or CBS or whatever. Humble, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's Elizabeth Warren. She's the one who is always saying, "Oh my goodness, we have to protect them." It's like, no, just let people make mistakes. Let them figure it out. And so I think at the very end where he's saying that, you can't protect everybody. You can't just hold their hands. And they honestly, when they say those things, they don't care. They don't actually want to protect you. They have other reasons, like, I don't know, the banks are funding them. So it will be interesting to see what happens when banks start, being able to have these assets and be able to control them, right? Well, control them with not Bitcoin. They're never going to control that, but they'll have access to it. Yeah, so I think it'll be interesting to see what Elizabeth Warren says then. But JD Vance, I think that it's a point that we all know and they have been saying for a little while now.
What about you, Phil?
Which point specifically? The fact that Bitcoin, or the fact that banks are going to custody Bitcoin and we're just going to
I would say, look, the catch is with these types of things that they're sound bites. So generally, you kind of have to take them. Like, was there something that you liked, and was there something? Let's take that. Was there something that you liked, and was there something that you didn't like?
Yeah. So I could say this, right? Him as an individual, right? Saying that he holds Bitcoin as an individual. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Right. That's the part that I like. I get that banks would eventually custody Bitcoin, right? Like, I mean, this is something that even
they're an individual too.
Satoshi alluded. Well, yeah, exactly. Right. They're in a way, they're an individual. Actually, they're a little bit more timeless than an individual. And
that's
in
right.
some cases, you could argue they have
a longer time horizon.
Right? Yeah. And better rights than
better rights. Yes, true.
Than an individual.
Right.
So in some cases, but yeah, I just look, the banks are going to be a slippery slope. It's just more of the same, right? It's just more of the same where you're trusting third parties and you're giving banks the keys to the kingdom. And we've already seen that human beings can't be trusted. Like, that's the whole reason that Bitcoin exists.
But human beings trust banks.
Right?
Right?
I know. That's a great point, right? So to that point, what is it in our minds that all of a sudden, when you put a human being into an institution, they somehow lose the certain qualities of being a human, right? And somehow end up gaining some type of a veil of, credibility and, and I guess trustfulness, right? It's like all of a sudden it's like, well, I can't trust an individual, but I can trust the bank to hold my Bitcoin. It's like, but the bank is made up of individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not even marketing themselves as, we're these trusted institutions where it's like everyone it's a bank. It's secure. It's that's where I keep my money and I can then get my money whenever I want. Like, people just actually have no idea that that's not the way it works. But if they can buy Bitcoin at a bank, they're damn sure going to do it because they feel protected. They feel it's safer.
You know why I don't like where people do bring up the fact that I can't believe man, BlackRock is buying Bitcoin. This sucks, or the United States is no, we can't let I don't approve of the government buying Bitcoin or even still banks. The catch is Bitcoin, the people that I think have our heads screwed on, right? Bitcoin is the money for your enemies. And if your enemy is a bank, a government, or some sort of institution, Bitcoin is for them too. However, you have the option, you have the ability to self-custody, to utilize all the use cases that Bitcoin provides in the same way that you can as well. And that's the power that you don't find in the fiat system. And so have at it, banks. Go buy your Bitcoin, go acquire it however you're going to, as long as you're not stealing from it and killing people to get it. May the best actor in a free market win. And, it's going to be people are going to see it's going to be much more efficient to self-custody rather than utilize these third parties. And it's just a matter of time before people go through those terms and say, hey, why am I doing this?
Yeah. Well, and I think we have to feel so grateful that we are early. I mean, people years to come will still be able to say they're early, but we were early enough where we're having these conversations, and we're early enough where self-custody is still a conversation, right? And at some point, people just aren't going to be talking about self-custody because it's going to be so prevalent with the banking system and the, people understanding with institutions. Oh, I can just buy it with the ETF. I feel very blessed that we're here, and we're able to have these conversations now and hold Bitcoin.
Well, something will have to happen for people to go back to the original use case for it. And that's why I think we've talked about this last week, Phil. Mm-hmm. Bad things are inevitable because that's how you kind of see you don't see the good if it isn't for the evil that kind of occurs near you or to you.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of banks, Coinbase and PNC are partnering to offer Bitcoin trading for clients. Now, I was peeling through the comments, and it seems like it's not explicit trading, but just a form of custodial, application or a plugin if you will, a Coinbase plugin. So I don't know necessarily how it works, but again, more banks partnering with the big exchanges. This is where it's like, you're blurring the lines between the traditional fiat system and the crypto industry, which is honestly, guess what? The longer it exists, the more you realize that crypto is just an extension of the fiat realm. What are your guys' thoughts, Phil?
I mean, it's just putting the TradFi wrapper on the on the crypto bank. That's really what it is. Like again, right? We can frame it as adoption or all of that good stuff, whatever we want to frame it as, right? Obviously, the legacy institutions are not going away, right? But at the same time, it's like they can't just outright stop everybody else from trying to take their own little piece of the pie. So, at this point, what we're seeing is that this is the inevitable, right? What I've talked about before, the bed of Procrustes. It's like, that's what this is. It's the inevitable, we're going to shoehorn this thing in and we're going to make it fit. Like, look, PNC Bank, at the end of the day, I'm sure these people have no desire to be dealing with this stuff whatsoever. However, they need money, right? Like they need to show that revenue. They need to be able to show that, hey, we're capitalizing on this industry. And not only that, but we're at the forefront. And the other piece of it is that you got to go take a look, like, who are PNC's customers? PNC customers, if I understood correctly, those are like high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals. So it's not like Coinbase is offering this to, like the mom and pop bank down the street. They're banking on a certain class of customer to come in and bring the volume.
1% of your portfolio.
Up to 4% if you're in the US.
There you go. And guess what? For the high net worth individuals, I think that's what they're targeting. And therefore you can anticipate X amount, which is a big X. And so therefore you're bringing more profitability. We've seen Bitcoin companies turn from the people to high net worth individuals. My buddy Corey and his company, particularly, he said high net worth individuals. That's what they're targeting. So it's like, guess what? It's what makes the commission bell ring. It's not rocket science. Humble, what's your thoughts?
I mean, I guess I'm thinking it's only the beginning. If it's PNC, then, and this model works with them, then it's going to be the other banks that are joining in with Coinbase. When you said plugin, what exactly?
Like a plugin, like a plugin for an extension, like a web browser. Like it's going to be like you log into your PNC. I don't know how it works, but I envision you log into your PNC account and you access. Oh, it's like, hey, you want to go buy Bitcoin? You don't have to go sign up for a Coinbase account. You can just log into your PNC account and you get straight particular, special access to Coinbase in a one-stop shop kind of thing.
Okay.
That's how I think. That's how I would do it as a solutions engineer. But
yeah, I was gonna say it's like an integration. It's an API call, right, out to Coinbase, and then there's a special form that they show you with fields that are specific to Coinbase, and there you go.
And it keeps it simple. Like it's almost like Coinbase, like the non-Coinbase Pro. Because remember, all of us early crypto investors, we were buying the crypto or buying the Bitcoin, and we were paying the exorbitant fees. Maybe they'll take those fees away because high net worth individuals, but it will still have the easy to use interface. It's like, hey, look, I bought Trump coin for $100,000. That was easy. That kind of thing.
I wonder if you have like an advisor then too, like a crypto advisor,
with PNC, if it is truly high net worth individuals, I wouldn't be surprised.
So
trust me, bros.
We've talked about this before, though. It's like, crypto advisors, like, well, what are you going to really advise? There's nothing to do. You just
it's the trust me bros,
right? It's like, so what are you going to do? You tell them to buy Bitcoin. Okay, great. Everything else,
definitely not telling them to buy that.
No, of course not.
Not that.
I always imagined the people that offer Bitcoin custody services, right? For people, it's like, what do? You go and like take a look at the hardware wallets. You make sure that
real talk. Like,
right?
dude,
Bitcoin
Bitcoin is the most boring product I've ever seen. Like, it's why people go off on tangents. And it's like, I mean, like, for instance, Joe Consorti, my buddy. I'm wearing his workout shorts right now. Yeah, he's like, this is how you integrate your home loan with Bitcoin or whatever. It's like you have to, it's like a lot of other people do Bitcoin plus, crypto. You have to be creative because Bitcoin is boring and dumb in the sense of it's just simple. It's just money. And so creating these products and these vehicles, Michael Saylor, how many different loan products and MicroStrategy products you have to come up with? It's boring. And when you make it complex, it normally fails.
Complexity usually hides the fact that it doesn't actually work.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the magical parts of complexity.
Yeah, let's see what's next. So we have we're in the Christmas season right now. El Salvador, our official Bitcoin company, our official Bitcoin country, is celebrating Christmas. So we're going to play a video, a muted video, because we don't want to get canceled by the sound sniffers as it plays Mariah Carey. So let me make sure this sucker is all the way down, and here we go. El Salvador Christmas. It is pretty. Phil, you posted this one, but why don't you go ahead and explain what we're seeing and why you decided this is newsworthy?
Yeah. Okay. So essentially, the reason why I posted this is because it just, even though I obviously think it's awesome, right? It's like pretty. I think it's cool that it's beautiful, right? Super, it's like it's all festive and everything like that. Oh, the Grinch. Mm-hmm. But it just the problem. So that scene right there where you just see all the empty stables, you just saw it right there. That's what got me to post the video. It's like it just looked this. Where is it? Hold on a second. I gotta go back to this.
I didn't want to. I wanted to actually rewind it because I was drinking. It's like, oh, let me go back because I missed it.
So this is what kills me, right? It's like, why do you? It just makes me think, and I'm not trying to be mean, but it's happening anyways. It makes me think of one of those propaganda videos of like countries that have nothing.
Like North Korea.
Yeah, and like everybody's starving and dying, which I know is not true, right? Like I know it's not true. I know that in El Salvador that's not the case, but that's to me what it conjures up. That all these people are suffering, right? But yet, look at us. Look, we're showing you these brand new tables. Look at this brand new booth. Notice how there's nobody working there. Okay, fine, fair enough. They were filming it at night. Okay, nobody's working at night. Okay, but then why wouldn't you film it during the day to show actual people there? Why would you film it like this? Like it just seems like such a weird propaganda video.
Well,
I don't know why.
It's creepy.
I'm not trying to be a jerk, right? Like, but it's happening.
Hey, hold on. Caveat. So,
wait a minute.
We don't have a pause moment. I'm sorry. So,
and that's not
real talk. So we're not pausing or anything. Yeah, wearing Joe's shorts, not the ones that he wears. So he actually he's into weightlifting, and one of his passions is developing weightlifting attire. And so I'm wearing his weightlifting shorts that he sells. It's on his Instagram. I actually forgot the brand. I don't want to like stand up and look at my tag, but trust me, it's Joe Consorti's brand, and it's not a pause moment. Anyways, continue. I'm not trying to get canceled.
I think we should make a short out of the shorts. I think that'd be cool.
One day.
Some short shorts.
Let's not get too many derivatives going.
Phil's definitely a Grinch. So
no, I kind of agree. It's kind of like, I mean, Christmas is supposed to be with family, Thanksgiving, family. So you want to see people, but it's so weird. It's so clean. It's almost sanitized.
Yeah. Well, okay. So they got it set up. They wanted to do it before it got like messy, and people took over and left trash places. I don't know. Like, I get it. I know you're right. So maybe they'll watch this, and next year they're going to be like, we need to actually film families that are enjoying this.
J-Dub hears us all talk about this stuff all the time.
Yeah,
that's a commercial. He said, relax. I'm not going to relax. I think that this is North Korea.
Oh my God.
Okay, what was that video recently where they showed that like prime minister of the country like eating, and everybody's eating like plastic cheese and shit like that? Did you see that? That was like 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Like,
I don't remember what it was though.
Right?
Yeah.
and you see everybody there, like they're all, no one's smiling, right? It's like they're just being forced there. We don't even have that. We don't even have plastic cheese here. You don't even have frowning people. It's empty and weird. And it's like, why? Like, you're so close, man. Like,
next year they'll
make it look real. They're gonna make it look real next year. They better.
Yeah, it's beautiful though, right? Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful.
All right,
it is beautiful.
Like,
I just wish that they had people there to make it seem less creepy and propaganda-y. That's all.
Yeah, yeah.
They're trying, Phil. They're trying.
Okay, I know. I appreciate it. Fine. E for effort.
Maybe they'll start the World's Fair up again. Maybe the World's Fair will be in El Salvador.
Get this slide back up. So another video. We have Jack Mallers. 21 Capital is finally public. They've merged with that SPAC, CEP, and of course their strategy is to keep buying. They say they own 4.1 billion worth of Bitcoin already. I think we have a video and we can actually play this one. Here we go.
Why wouldn't they just buy Bitcoin then?
Well, because they don't have Tether, SoftBank, and the cash flows that we'll produce. So, I agree with that. We do not want the market to think of us and price us as just a treasury asset. That is not us at all. We're going to acquire as much Bitcoin as we possibly can. I mean, I think it's crazy that we own over 4 times the amount of Bitcoin Coinbase does, and this is my first day in the public markets. But, we also want to build massive businesses, and I think the markets will appreciate, Tether's no slouch to that.
Okay. Again, good for Jack to have his 21 Capital public. Hopefully he doesn't take the strategy playbook too heavily. Hopefully he's more about creating value, as Phil would say, create cash flows. You talked about that again on your show earlier today. Humble, 21st Capital. Is it a buy or a sell or a hold?
I oh my gosh, really? Yeah.
Wrong answer. You're gone. No.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, these days. Sorry, go ahead, Humble. I just want to.
Oh boy, we're getting into the trade. Okay. I'm not even going to comment on that because I'm just not. But I think that I'm voting for Jack. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for him. Not voting, rooting. I just don't see him, and we've talked about this before. I don't see him the way other people that are out there currently. I'm not going to name any names. What they're doing. I think Jack is different. I think he's got a heart, and he's doing it for the right. Well, yeah. I'll stop there. I got into Bitcoin because of him. I mean, it's just it's hard to let that go, and we've had that conversation too. But I think that he does have it in his heart, for doing things for the right reasons. So the right reasons for him, for his company, and
we all have.
I don't know what else to say on that. It's difficult for me because I know we don't have any heroes. I don't. It's not that type of a thing where, oh my gosh, he can do no wrong. But yeah, I'm happy for him. The fact that it's Tether, it's a little it's interesting, because I do have different views on Tether. You got to watch them, the moves they're making. Very, very powerful company.
Phil, when you think about that, Jack has always said that they would show their keys. They would show their reserve balances, if you will. Do you consider them a better form of what strategy is trying to do with regards to the Bitcoin Treasury company?
I believe that he listens to what people have to say and he addresses the concerns. And he goes on, like, what is it? I think every Monday? Is every Monday that he goes on?
Mailbag Mondays.
Yeah.
He has a podcast.
And so he answers questions directly. He's still very immersed into the culture to, I guess some people, look at that look on Phil's face. Look at that look.
Phil, describe that look.
What was that?
I'm reading JD's comments here.
Is he still on me about El Salvador? What's going on?
Sorry. sorry. I'm just, you know, it's like we're multitasking, right? Like,
okay, as long as it wasn't to me, because I mean, I figured you'd be looking into the camera if it was me. But
he's mad because we made the comments about the video, dude. I'm sorry, I'm not the one that made the video. If I was the one that made the video, there would have been fucking people in there, and it wouldn't have looked like a ghost. Okay, sorry, not sorry. Anyways, I'm sorry. Continue.
No, that's okay. That was good. It was really
JD is he loves his El Salvador. He's going to move there one day.
Fine. Put people in the fucking video. That's all. Put people there. Don't make it look weird.
Yeah, just whoever's watching and has a connection, just freaking let them know. Let them know next to your people, okay? Then there's no problem. And we'll address it. We'll be like, look, there's people and they're enjoying themselves. It's wonderful.
Okay, hold on. So Phil, I gotta get your thoughts. Phil, what about Jack Mallers and 21 Capital? Buy, sell, or hold?
Well, I would just so look. How about this? I would wait till it gets down to at least $2 a share, where Metasplat is, because they have essentially as much Bitcoin as Metasplat does, and they haven't started to create preferred shares yet. Okay, so if you ask me, yeah, I'd say it's just wait. But no, in all seriousness, I've said this many times. Specifically, BTC Moon Guy says buy. You know what? If they actually merge Strike into XXI and have this vehicle that is actual, positive cash flow operational, right? They've got revenue from operations, all that good stuff. Then I don't see anything wrong, right? Like I think that's fantastic that they're doing the right thing. He's saying all the right stuff right now. However, somebody else said that stuff 3 years ago too, before they started to do something slightly different. Right? At first, it was, I'm going to create tools for Bitcoin. I'm going to create services for Bitcoin. Hope.com, we're going to do this for Bitcoin, that for Bitcoin. In the end, it's buy my shares. So,
right. And a lot of people jumped on that bandwagon as well and stopped talking about the bright orange future and started talking about how this treasury company is so special. And in the end, they ended up becoming no more special than an ICO.
Nope.
We have the charts to prove it.
Oh, you want me to show the MicroStrategy chart? I'm always happy to show.
Oh no.
No.
No. It was like that. Get out. That no.
No, come on. Everybody wants to see this thing. Everybody wants to see this thing. Today alone, they were down I think it was 10% or 9%.
Because we bought Bitcoin. Yeah, that's not fun anymore, bro. Like,
bro, we don't need to see you make orange dots. We need to see you keep the fucking lights on.
Like, think about this. Like,
that's the monthly.
You're better off. You're a better company at 200,000, 300,000 Bitcoin than at 700,000 Bitcoin. Something went wrong with your formula. It's not like, if it was that easy, like everyone would do. Oh, we just buy Bitcoin and we're a better company. Why are they not? Why are they going down? Why are they worse off? Why are they worse off now? I mean, it's like they have 50,000 Bitcoin. It's like they have 50,000, 100,000 Bitcoin. It's not a good look. But guess what? Everyone's pot committed in terms of, worshiping their leader, Michael Saylor. We can go on. Yeah. So we have, it's hard to see. I'm sorry. Let's see if I can blow it up to, how do we, Phil, take control? How do we blow it up to where it's, dang it.
You want to make it,
we're going to get?
In the meantime, Dan, Helios7557, he also had the same sentiment that they filmed at night when it's clean and there's no rubbish.
Oh, totally. Oh, you're talking about something else. So anyway, so what this is Phil, maybe you can kind of describe what's going on here, because Grubles is talking about the tornado cash, basically people who are going to be sentenced, and how Grubles is kind of defending himself because he basically took a certain perspective of the whole engagement. Maybe you can kind of summarize and talk about.
Wait, are you talking about Samurai Wallet or?
Yeah. Oh, did I say tornado? I meant Samurai Wallet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out when I saw the notes. I'm like, tornado.
No, I'm sorry. I get them mixed up because I never use either of them. So, Phil, you want to summarize the story and give your take?
What story are we summarizing here?
This is the Grubles. So hard to see. Devs building Wasabi. Grubles was called a POS. Here's the actual reality of it. Developers in the Bitcoin space are always wanted Samurai to go to jail. These devs didn't like their BS, called out on a daily basis. And then Grubel's like, how am I POS for speaking out against their behavior? That was your story, right?
Was it? I don't even remember.
We forgot.
No,
hey.
I totally. But now I get. I get why I put that in there. So look,
okay.
This is kind of this. The reason why I put this in here was because essentially what has happened in this space is that there's so many people that have lost the fucking plot, right? That like we have a real issue where devs are about to go to jail, okay, for writing code, okay? Totally, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, think about that, right? That's like a person, that's like a criminal using Microsoft Office to do something malicious. And all of a sudden, Bill Gates, well, not Bill Gates anymore because he's gone, but whoever is over there, the CEO is now going to jail. The guy who wrote the code is now going to jail. Like, this is it. And obviously it doesn't set that type of precedent, but it always brings us one step closer to this weird psychotic dystopia. Okay. And the thing is with the whole Bitcoin space, and I've seen it at least since I got here, right? There's always this massive push against samurai from people that just, for whatever reason, right? They don't like them. And then you've got people that are advocates of samurai that vice versa, you know, would argue with the wasabi wallet people. And then you've got the people in between that just for whatever reason, right, you pick a side and whatnot. And I get it, right? Those differences can seem real and they can seem very extreme. And, you know, people get passionate and they get upset and all that good stuff. But it's like when something like this happens, you need to be able to put that petty shit down. And realize it's like, you know what, it's like as much as and this is something that I had said on one of my previous streams, you know, in the past I had gotten into arguments with guys that were supporters of samurai, you know, and stuff like that, or just anybody, right? They call you a beta or they call you a fucking loser and this and that, and it's like, okay, fine, that may be the case at the moment, but we're talking about something serious here. This guy's going to go to jail for writing code. Like, you know what I mean? Like that petty crap aside, this is real. You know what I mean? Like this is the first principles type of shit. So that's really why I chose that particular story, is that, you know, it's kind of strange that there's this kind of, I guess, this dichotomy, right? Between where there's a whole bunch of people. Did he break a law? No, he did not. He did not actually break a law. He's going to go to jail anyways. Okay. So that's part of the problem. And I got to say that I feel that if Samurai was, if Keone was somebody else in the space, this wouldn't be happening, right? What journalist? Oh, you're talking to Phil.
She's talking to Phil C411.
Yeah. So, you know, it's ridiculous, right? Like the point is that these guys, they didn't get the support that they should have gotten. Okay. From the people that have the voices in the space. Right, they didn't get that support, and now people like I'm seeing people who are quote unquote, you know, freedom maximalists being like, yeah, fuck these guys, go to jail, you know, because we don't like them. I think it's like, you know, it's one of the things that does sour me about the Bitcoin space, the whole nonsense about like the truth seeking and the critical thinking and you know, and all that stuff, and oh, that guy called me a beta, yeah, fuck him, he can go to jail forever.
No, it's not truth seeking. I think people are starting to realize people are truly trying to create their own little bubbles of authoritarianism, of narratives, of media control. And this just happens to be the new frontier in some sort of network effect way. You know, before 20 years ago, it was the internet, and you know, where people say, oh, you know, I want freedom, and all of a sudden people are making these little moats on the internet, trying to coerce people into a, you know, authoritarian little regime. So I think is it just humans being humans, Phil, where people are kind of like, they just start going back to their nature, and how do they oppress, how do they try to coerce people?
Incentives, I don't know. I'm thinking about it like incentives,
because it always happens. Like the internet came around, and the internet kind of went through that same thing. Bitcoin comes around, it's like, oh, everyone's happy and everyone's on the same path, and then guess what? Then people show their incentives or their nature. Because like, well, what's the incentives of someone not liking someone. It's like they're not getting paid. Some people may get paid to not like someone, but for the most part, it's like, oh, I don't like the way that guy is, so therefore I'm going to go ahead and basically violate what I'm saying I'm standing for because I don't like that person. It goes back to the Bitcoin's money for your enemies, but you're going to try to cancel Bitcoin users or try to change the code for it to naturally cancel users. So it's like you're not really sticking to the ethos of why you say you're here in the first place.
Well, this kind of goes back to the whole Bitcoin exposes everybody's incentives, right? Because if you really are here for those things, then you're going to be able to have that discernment, and you're going to be able to extrapolate away those layers of things that just don't matter. I just want to add something here because yeah. So Verhoofdy said if he created an anti-surveillance money moving wallet app, I think that's against the law. No. So they didn't. So that's the thing, right? They didn't actually have custody of any of those funds, and creating that software isn't against the law. So,
well, it was the CFTC that wasn't it the CFTC that said that he was cleared. There were no issues at all. That he didn't break any laws. But then the judge came in and said, "Yeah, I don't care."
Yep.
And Southern District of New York, which is notorious, for this.
Wasn't that the same one that tried to convict Trump? They tried to send him to that same court system. Yeah.
And I think they had a change of judges too at some point in time, if I remember correctly.
Well, the judge he ended up with was one that is extremely hostile towards any kind of AML, KYC, law breaks.
Yeah.
So and she's been known to make examples of these people and these cases. So
right. And that's what people they have to focus. That's the problem. That's not okay. So yeah, you should have a problem with that. You should have a problem with the CFTC is saying, no, they didn't break any laws, and we're letting you know that he didn't break any laws. And the judge is like, I don't really care what you have to say. That's the problem. Like, did they do some things I didn't agree with? Yeah. Like, should you be reaching out on the dark web and trying to get people who, because there's plenty of not so wonderful people on the dark web, right? So should you be, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be doing something like that ethically. I think that's where people who do human trafficking and stuff like that are going as well, right? It's not all bad people that are going there, but a lot of them are. I don't agree with that. I think that is that's why do that? But what is happening to them, you have to put that aside, what they did, that stuff, and look, okay, well, this is not cool. And I think what was the thing that initially brought them in? It was a freaking tweet. Yeah. It was a post.
Yes.
Seriously? Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was the Russian oligarchs one. That was the one that, yeah.
We welcome the Russian oligarchs.
Yeah.
And literally, this is what they're citing in the courtroom.
Yeah.
And this is what the judge is.
I remember that. Yeah, right. That was probably in 2020, late 22 or early 23, right?
Yeah.
But they have no evidence, right? All they have is the tweet. They have absolutely no data points to tie any of this. Yeah. And the other thing is this, right? It's very difficult to enforce these types of rules when you've got banks, you've got banks that facilitate money laundering on a daily basis.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So they're facilitating money laundering, right?
Seriously.
That's really funny. What a bold tweet! In the middle of the USA-Ukraine war. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I can't be saying that.
What did you say? You said an illegal word.
I said what a bold tweet in the middle of the USA-Ukraine. I should say USA-Russian war, but that's that made them. They said we're going to make an example of you because guess what? Because your tool is essentially you could welcome them in that network if you wanted to, and they just didn't. They didn't like that at all because the whole vibe of 2020 to 2023, if you will, is how do we censor anyone and everyone? I mean, that was the that was essentially the censorship industry had been growing exponentially at that point. And any commentary, like Mars said, you know, any posting to even virtue signal against that would put eyes on you. And they looked for a reason. They looked for a reason to prosecute them, even if there was none. They made one up. Yeah, it's a rough.
You.
Say what?
I said there's the state and there is you.
That's right.
That's all there is.
Let's keep pushing. We have Ben Kaufman tweet, short but sweet. If I wanted to kill Bitcoin, trying to convince a majority to confiscate coins of others would definitely be one of the best strategies I'd go with. Let's start off with Humble. How would you, and we don't even have to dwell on this tweet, how would you kill Bitcoin?
Oh my. How would I kill Bitcoin?
Yeah, you can either expand on this one or dig into your evil brain of yours.
Well, I guess making it, going after everyone who self-custodies, like trying to figure out who's self-custody, making it this like criminal act. That's how I would try to kill Bitcoin.
Self-custody being a criminal
and the
act.
miners, you know, making it so it's not legal to do that. Like these companies could not, you know, these would be like considered illegal criminal activity companies. But I don't know that. Yeah.
I want to, before I ask Phil, audience, the 168 people that are watching right now on Twitter and YouTube. By the way, join us on YouTube. It's the water's nicer over here. Whenever you can, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. How would you kill Bitcoin what's your strategy? Phil, what's your strategy? How would you kill Bitcoin?
I have thought about this.
The
How would I kill Bitcoin? Yeah. I think from what I can see, the most effective way of killing Bitcoin is a social attack. And at the same time, people are going to hate it, but too bad. The institutions. The paper Bitcoin.
The institutions are here, though.
Yep, the institutions are here, and I know that this is all part and partial, and of course they were always going to come, and this was all part of the show, and I don't disagree with any of that stuff. I'm just saying, though, it doesn't mean that they can't gain enough power to really shape people's perception. And this is something I've said before in the past, right? Is that Wall Street has created their own asset. There's the Wall Street asset that Bitcoin that they call Bitcoin, and then there's Bitcoin the token and Bitcoin the network, right? The thing that we know as Bitcoin, and they're doing a good job right now changing that. That's part of the social attack, right? That's part of the social attack. Number one, number two, it's also part of keeping Bitcoin out of circulation, which to a certain extent doesn't really matter right now, right? Because of the divisibility and everything like that. Like it doesn't really matter. But that in conjunction with other social attacks, like what we're seeing right now with these different implementation clients and stuff like that, like we've lost a few years of just Bitcoin doing almost absolutely nothing in terms of development. And what I mean to say is, I'm not talking about features and shit like that. I don't care about features. Like that's for people that are trying to sell products and shit. I just need Bitcoin to work and be censorship resistant and make sure that it keeps its hard cap. But there are, I believe that there are things that people can be working on Bitcoin that are important, that can help, that are just being totally not looked at, right? Like stuff like maybe, some people would believe CTV is one of those things. And instead, people are just crying about JPEGs. So keep in mind, right? Like you can fund terrorism, right? You can go and do all kinds of terrible transactions because they're monetary, but JPEGs are evil.
You can also fund distractions.
And they're going to destroy Bitcoin. So it's, again, right? Like this is all just noise. That to me is really what this is. It's just a whole bunch of noise. I just want to go back to something that Rourke said here. He said, can we try to get Joe on the show? He can explain the samurai case. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We can definitely try to get Joe on the show at some point. We could talk about that.
Awesome. Let's move on. We have another slide where we talk about the Bitcoin treasury companies, and they sold. David Bailey, if you use your eagle eyes, you can see at the bottom, he said, we didn't sell those in November. We did it in August and September. They were investments into other companies who use the proceeds to buy Bitcoin. I can buy that. He got a lot of feedback as well. Normally when you have 24 replies on a reply, you're getting harassed, and there people are probably saying, give me back my money. That's what you get for investing in Kindly. But again, we see these Bitcoin treasury companies, they didn't last that long before they were selling at a very bad price. And again, I think, I talked about this in the, early this year with all these hundreds of Bitcoin treasury companies that Mr. Bailey was coaching up. MicroStrategy was giving people the playbook, coaching them up. I'm like, if this cycle is real, you guys are coming in at the wrong time, because if things go sideways or things go down or things go any way other than up, you're going to be in trouble. And that's exactly what we see. While they've sold what seems like a generally small amount of Bitcoin, guess what? Maybe it's a third of their stack or a tenth of their stack. Hut 8, maybe it's half their stack. They're still in the running, right? But their stock, the stock price is what shows their value, and they're down 90%. The Bitcoin treasury shill, where they try to talk about Bitcoin per share, that was shown to be a farce, that people on Wall Street don't care about that. What they care about is the debt value and the potential revenue gain, the revenue opportunity of these companies. That's how stocks are valued, not how much Bitcoin you're going to have, because they don't know what Bitcoin's price is going to be in the future, and neither do these treasury company shills. Humble, are the Bitcoin treasuries cooked? Do they have life in them in 2026 or beyond?
Yeah, I don't know. I hope Hut 8 does, because I bought a whole bunch of that when Mike Alfred was pumping it.
I'll be honest, I did sell Hut 8 a long time ago, and it's funny, when I sold it, it went up. Go figure. That's what I get for playing in the mud.
Yeah.
But continue. So are they good? Are they good? Is Sequins, is BitDeer?
Like, I haven't heard of I'm sorry, I haven't heard of Genius, and I haven't heard of Sequins.
Sequins is that Swans?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one they're helping.
That's the one where Ben Werman joined Swan and drove them down 98% and then left for Kindly.
Oh boy.
How does he do it?
Wow.
How do they do it?
Right. What a record. I mean, talk about, like, hey, can you show us your portfolio? Can you show us your record? Oh, I averaged negative 99% on my companies.
I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like, 98% of these are not going to last. I mean, that's, I guess, my perception of it. So I'd say they're cooked.
Phil, you talked about this on your show this morning. Anything you want to add or repeat from what you talked about?
These were the businesses. Their sole business was to buy, accumulate, and hold Bitcoin. That is their value proposition. And they couldn't even do it for a year. Guys,
Hut 8 was a miner.
No, hold on.
Yeah,
You got to give yourself. Well, Sequins is not a miner.
No, for sure. Well, I'm like, Hut 8, like, it's just crazy. I guess maybe Hut 8 has an excuse for selling, because miners sell.
I don't even care about Hut 8.
Yeah.
But Sequins
no,
and
they're
Kindly,
supposed to be hodl.
I mean, that's ridiculous. And that comment from Dave Bailey, right? We didn't sell those. So hold on a second. So somehow this is more bullish, that the business that doesn't actually have any revenues right now gave their Bitcoin to another business that doesn't have any revenue in order for that business to buy Bitcoin. Like, is there anyone actually listening? Like, is anyone actually paying attention, or is everybody just totally fucking lost in the, you know, like in the fog? Because like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like if you hired me and my job, I had this one job with hold Bitcoin. That's my one job, was to buy, accumulate, and hold Bitcoin, and I couldn't do it for a year. Why would you take me seriously? Couldn't even do it for a year, guys.
By the way, that includes Michael Saylor.
Yeah,
because like how do you judge how well he did? See, that's the catch. Like the whole narrative. Oh well, let's twist the story so that we can pretend like we're really doing good. Look, Bitcoin per share. But if the share is worthless, what difference does it make? I have 1 million shares of myself. So what? Like Bitcoin per share, it's a matter, but how much is your share worth, bro? Like if you're driving your share price down, like that's the free market telling you that you suck. It doesn't matter how many Bitcoin you have, because you don't know when the price is going to go up, and you want to project 20 million in 2040. How do you? What if you're wrong, bro? You know, it's like but the problem is that we talk about sports ball and bread and circuses and how there's so many distractions, but meanwhile the Bitcoin community created their own distractions in the form of these heroes that became Bitcoin treasury advocates, that became Bitcoin treasury shills, that have twisted what accounting principles are, what accounting fundamentals are. And at the end of the day, all they did was create for themselves a world of shit coins. Like we're no better. We, Bitcoin community collective, no better than the ICOs. You can't tell me that the ICOs are somehow worse from an ethical or moral perspective or financial perspective than the Bitcoin treasury companies. Sorry, prove me wrong. I have the numbers to back it up.
Yep.
It's crazy, man. But guess what? No one got anything to say except like, oh, well, I can't, you know, curse my favorite hero because I've been worshiping them for 3 years and 4 years. So it's like for me to say that they're bad, they may unfollow me. Heaven forbid. Where's our stuff? Add to stage. Let's go to the next slide. We have a boomer. Our boomer guest of the week is Jim Penman. I think he has a pretty significant follow. He said in the 1950s, families lived in small houses with no AC, one car, no savings. You have 4 kids. Today, we have the highest standard of living in history and 0 kids. Stop blaming the cost of living. It's a fundamental change in character. So he's saying, all you people, all you young people, it's your fault that you're poor, and it's not the monetary system, and that inflation is a figment of your imagination, and that if you just lower your standards, if you pretend that you know all the new technologies that are coming out, that you don't need to touch them, that you can just have that one AC from the 50s and the one car from the 50s, that you'd be okay. Meanwhile, the owners of society, you know, are on a rocket ship flying to Saturn, and you should just be happy with your one AC. Humble Phil, let's start off with Phil. Phil, is that rational for the boomer to talk to you like that?
I have one comment only. That's bait. .jpeg. That's it.
That's bait.
That's bait. Because for real, like I'm not even wasting my time with that shit. Don't even talk to me about the whole no AC and all that stuff. That's ridiculous. That is.
We got to get like memes that we can pop up. You promised those, right? It's just a click of a button.
Yeah, I promised them, but that's the point, right? Promises are made to be broken.
That's big. You should have that one.
Eventually they're gonna get up there. Don't worry. Eventually they're getting there. The wheels are. But yeah, I mean, it's that's all it is. Like this is just absolute nonsense from somebody who has zero situational awareness and most likely has had a very easy time at it.
Exactly. Most importantly. Humble, what are your thoughts?
Ridiculous.
I mean, I think the last sentence where he says, stop blaming the cost of living, it's a fundamental change in character. It's just absolutely just stupid. Well, so the cost of living didn't help to change the character. I mean, seriously. Right. In the 1950s, families lived in small houses with no AC, one car, and no savings, and one person going to work, right?
I wonder what the cost of living was back then. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe they're correlated.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe things, cost of living changed. It's just, it's so, I don't, it's very frustrating to believe that there are still people out there that are thinking this, but of course they do, I mean, if they're not feeling any of the pain and they have children that they feel are not living up to the standards they feel they should be, like, oh, they're not working hard enough. They don't have enough jobs. They're not working enough. I started out in the mailroom. I mean, nobody even knows what the hell a freaking mailroom is, like, what is that? What even? Times are very different, and the change in character. I don't know if it was this thread or if it was another one, but it seems to be kind of a theme that's going out again. People are and TradFi are coming out and, oh gosh, this is what's going on. Somebody said, oh yeah, well, you didn't have women going out and buying like $10 lattes in the 1950s, so blame it on the women. And like, oh, for crying out loud. Yes. So yeah, I mean,
the really bad part about all this is that it's a very Keynesian perspective where, forget his first name, Robert Keynes, maybe. But he said, he was asked about like his strategies and his economic theories. And I mean, he responded with, it doesn't matter. We'll be dead by the time that these problems will surface, and let the next generation handle it. It's not to say that everyone needs to be altruistic and be in it for the greater good. But still, maybe the economic system that should be in place should be something that is resilient against the current generation being able to extract the value out of it. And that's what you essentially see. You see everything from the fiat experiment paid forward, so you had cheaper houses, and you just push that debt further to the right. Everything was much easier attainable in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even in the 80s. But then right around the 90s and 2000s, starts ticking upward. And so what you have is Bitcoin is the alternative, where we don't have to deal with thieves native to the system. The government can't control Bitcoin. The institutions can't control Bitcoin. 21 million. What does that mean? That means that everyone, no matter how powerful you are from a guns perspective or laws perspective, you have to all play by the same rules. And those rules kind of keep everyone somewhat honest. Doesn't mean that there won't be thieves, but the thieving happens at a much lower abstraction. Does that make sense? Let's see what else is there. Oh man, this one's fun.
Womp womp.
The Bitcoin Prediction Hall of Fame 2025.
Womp womp.
JP Morgan, the one who's supposed to be the enemy, right? They were closer than everyone. Isn't that funny? But whatever Cathie Wood is smoking, I don't want any. And Michael Saylor, the grand salesman, tricked a lot of people and got everyone into this hopium sense of existence. ARK Invest, which is this same. How did Cathie Wood go 3 times higher than her own company? I promise you, she is a satire of a person.
Anyways,
Say what?
I said she has a terrible track record. Anyways,
is she ever right? It's funny. We make fun of. Here's maybe a tangent. We make fun of Elizabeth Warren because none of her bills pass. She says we're gonna KYC and AML everyone, and like nothing ever passed. So go home, Elizabeth. You're drunk. And we make fun of her because none of her bills pass. You know who else? Cynthia Lummis. Her bills don't really pass, especially that Bitcoin reserve bill. Where did that go? We're not making fun of her that her bills are all hot air, but because she waves the right flag, she can't be wrong. All these people have hundreds and thousands of followers. Lawrence Lepard, who has a friend in Robert Kiyosaki, he's a transient Bitcoiner. He's saying 350,000. Really, bro? Like based on what? You hardly even know what Bitcoin's about.
He sold 25 Bitcoin last week.
Who?
Literally 3 days, and I even covered this. 3 days after, he blamed OGs for selling and pushing the price down. Okay. And he was like, I'm not selling. I'm here for the long run. I am not shitting you. I even covered this. It was the funniest thing. It's such a self-own. 3 days later, he sells 25. And the best part of it, the best part of this whole thing, right? These guys, they're such fucking liars. Okay. They sit there and they're like, they always talk about how, they have all this money and all these businesses and all this liquidity coming in. Dude had to sell those Bitcoins in order to make an investment to shore up some income because he needed some monthly income. But what about all those properties you've got? These people are all scammers. Okay. Like, and people listen to them and they think that they know what they're talking about. Like, look, a broken clock. You just need to be right twice. That's all it takes. Okay. And then people are like, hey, he said something that's true. And then all of a sudden, that's how you build trust. This is how these charlatans work. You just you pepper in truths into your bullshit, and then people believe the bullshit. That's all it is. And so like this, it's just so pathetic.
How many of y'all watching, if I were to go to your profile, you'd be following Pompliano? Why?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Why are you following Pompliano? He does nothing but lie to you he uses you when he goes to his next gig. He says, look at this guy following me. Look at that guy following me. And he counts all of you and he says, this is how much I'm worth. He's getting his value, which in shilling lies and fakes and frauds for years, for over half a decade at least. And he's using you. Why do you follow that? ARK Invest, Kathy Wood hasn't given you an ounce of value. I remember back in 21, I bought let me buy that nanotechnology stock that she was shilling. 90% dead in 6 months. I'm like, she's not a winner. I don't even, where's her money come from? She's lost everything. She's losing all nonstop. I hope, look, we're not cheering for these people to be unsuccessful. We're simply saying,
I'd like them to be succcial. That'd be good.
Wrong.
It'd be good.
It would be good if Michael Saylor became the richest guy in the world, because guess what? All y'all know I have some MicroStrategy that may have benefited me a little bit. But can you call a spade a spade? Can we stop defending people who are overtly wrong? I don't know. Humble.
Yeah.
Which one of these people do you think deserves to be defended?
That's a good way of framing it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
I'm crazy. I love this new role of mine. I'm like the conductor, but I'm like the evil conductor,
Yeah.
I'm not evil. I just have my own incentives. Humble, talk to me about this slide. What let me frame it a different way. How does this make you feel?
Oh, how does it make me feel? Well, let's see. The font, I'm not sure if I would have chosen that. It's
good font. It's readable.
Yeah.
We have to make sure we're clear.
The colors, it's not really.
I didn't make this.
Engaging. No, I know you didn't. So yeah, I think it's Robert Kiyosaki. I was all about him, of course, rich dad, poor dad.
My mom liked him. I mean, it was like it was a not to say. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying like that was 20 years ago. Like he was the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But like being in this space, when he started really posting about Bitcoin, or when I started noticing it anyways, he may have been doing it the whole time and I just didn't notice until I did. And I would just repost. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at what he said. Oh, look at this. And it was these outlandish things. And then finally I started seeing this pattern. I'm like, well, okay, this is weird. Like none of this stuff is like, he heard something from someone and this is going to happen, or this is, and it's like, man, it's tough because these people, of course, that you did respect. Well, I don't even know if respect is a good word for this, but you were fond of, then they start doing stuff like that. And it's just like, oh man, that's really, that's just, why are you doing it? Why are you like everyone else? Why are you doing this? And it just puts them in the same pool as everyone else. Yeah, it's disappointing. So people that do that, it's very tacky. I don't like it. Not to say Robert is tacky, but just those tweets where it's these price predictions and Bitcoin is going to do that or this or whatever, and it gets old after a while.
It's better to be extravagant than to be right. That's what it boils down to. It doesn't matter if you have. Look, I mean, look at what I mean. Hoofty Floofin said. Hoofty Floofin. Am I saying that right?
I would listen to him. I would listen to his prediction.
JP Morgan was closest, and his prediction was 180K. I was saying, I mean, remember my base case was 150, and I told people, I'm like, if it doesn't hit 150, I'm a clown. Now maybe we could stretch this out to March. Maybe things change, but I was talking about this time frame right here where we are, and guess what? I was wrong. But it's like these people that have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of followers, they're not penalized by their faulty, if not tragically, critically tragic predictions. JP Morgan, who's owned by or run by the guy who's been saying that, you know, Satoshi can just change the code and take all people's Bitcoin away. Even still, they said they were kind of bullish. If we hit 170,000, everyone would be sitting on cloud nine. We would be more than happy with that outcome in October, November. So we all had some sort of error ballast. Things happened, but the exponential error from the Chamath, the Pompliano, the Sailors, the Woods. I don't want to say it's unforgivable, but you know, I'm going to remember that one, and I hope that you guys do too. So some interesting stuff that affects not you guys, but maybe us a little bit. YouTube now allows US creators to receive payout in crypto stablecoins. Some people, I don't think people explicitly said, some people thought, no, that wasn't the Bitcoin thing. So you can receive, I don't know if it's Circle or Tether. This is all I'm basing off of. Phil, I'm going to ask you as the veteran content creator here. Is this good, bad, whatever? Like, how does this make you feel?
I mean, for me, I just don't care because it's payouts and stable coins. I have no use case for it. Yeah, I have no use case. I mean, I'll just like, look, for me, you may as well just pay me out in USD.
That's right.
Right, like if you're going to pay me out in stable coins, I'd rather, if I could pick my stable coin, then there you go, right? I'll just stick with the USD. I'm already using it. It's already accepted everywhere. I just don't care. Yeah, so for me, this is like it's a giant nothing burger, right? Like again, you know, the empire extending its walls. I supposed to cheerlead for that? I guess yeah. If I'm a statist, right? If I'm a statist, then I'm going to cheer for that. But otherwise I'm not. Like, who cares, right? And I get it, right? And this is where you get the net positive bros that are like, well, you know, maybe they're gonna use Bitcoin. They won't be using Bitcoin. That's the thing I can already tell you, that they're not going to do it. Like, I can guarantee you that. It's always the same thing. They dangle the Bitcoin carrot, right? And then once you get them in with that, then you feed them the shit. So here you go. It's like, oh yeah, this is great. This is amazing. Here comes the crap. Sounds familiar, like the Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah.
No different.
Well, Humble, what do you think? Do you think that this is a gateway drug to Bitcoin, or is it completely going in another direction? Is there any good spin to this at all?
Yeah. So what I was thinking, I guess when it comes to people who have websites, and on their websites, they sell various things like merchandise, right? And they accept Bitcoin. You can get kind of flagged with Google, YouTube. I mean, it's one of those things. Like, it's just like, oh, your store reputation. God, I forgot what there's some like scamming website where if you pull up somebody's website, it gives you like a score on that website, and your score will be a certain percentage. And if you accept payments in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin,
your score will go down.
Your score goes down. So I wonder, with YouTube, you're asking me if there's something positive about this. Well, then if YouTube's doing this, and of course, Google
so
it
kind of like moves the Overton window where it's like, oh, well, you're accepting stable coins, Bitcoin. The places like that, they generally see those things as similar enough to where your social credit score for these censorship websites, essentially what they are, they will raise your score a little bit.
Well,
give
I
you a
wonder
little bit more
about that.
trustworthiness.
Yeah, but Google in and of itself as well. I mean, obviously, YouTube will be fine. Hopefully they'll allow other websites to shine a little bit more brightly if they accept those payments too. So not just these, third-party sites where they're giving your website a score. But I mean, I recently had an issue. There's something called Google Merchant Next, and you can have free listings, right? So Google will just put free listings out there. So if somebody's looking specifically for like a HODL t-shirt or something, you'll pop up, but that specific item will pop up. So it's an ad, it's free. You're not paying for it, right? And they demoted my store, and I'm just like, what the heck? And I don't know if it's due to this rebranding, which, I'm working on. I haven't announced it officially yet, but I was trying to figure that out. So then I reached out to a third party and I was like, can you help me with this? Because I can't talk to anybody and they're not like really willing to help me because it is a free service. However, Google Ads is completely, they're like, oh yeah, for like $3,000 a month, we'll hook you up. And I'm like, yeah, but I want this figured out first. I'm not going to pay you. You're still Google, like I'm not going to pay the company when you guys are also basically shadow banning my store with these free listings.
That's insane.
It really is. It's absolutely crazy. So this third party that I reached out to said, oh, well, we think it's probably because you accept Bitcoin payments on your site. And so, they had an issue with it. And I'm like, well, whatever, that may be the case. I think it's more likely it's this rebranding and they're, it's confused. I think that's actually what it is. But the fact that they said that means that they've had these issues in the past to be able to reflect on that. Yeah.
If only these places realize that Bitcoin is actually there to help regular people and that the bad guys actually are the banking institutions. It's amazing. Like, the people that come up with these tools to protect people, are they protecting people or are they protecting the sovereignty of the dollar or the euro? I mean, we saw a lot of a story recently this week. I didn't post it, but I actually saw on LinkedIn where one of the high-ranking Euro officials said, like, if you're against the Euro, you're against Europe and you're against the people of Europe. Like the Euro is there and you're against the digital Euro. The digital Euro is there to maintain the European Union's sovereignty over its people. I mean, all kinds of dystopian talk. And that's supposed to trigger a sense of patriotism and encouragement, and we're all in this together. But all I hear, maybe I'm the broken one, all I hear is authoritarianism, is slavery, is dystopianism, is bondage. But it's crazy how these companies are built up with this framing, and that people who want to be able to exist without the bonds of government or limited government, they're the bad guys. We have a long ways to go. We have a long ways to go. We're going to talk about this one story, which harkens back to things that happened when
steady
times
lag
were down. Oh, remember when Kwon and FTX all happened like darn near simultaneously, and like I tell you, Bitcoin was dying right then and there, at least to some people. Terra Luna, it's like, oh man, look how bad Bitcoin is. Oh, FTX, look how bad Bitcoin is. Well, after he tried to escape to the Bahamas or somewhere, he got taken back to South Korea. I believe he was charged there. Kwon gets 15 years in jail over what they call an epic crypto fraud. I don't know. The guard doesn't look South Korean. I don't know where he was charged. You guys, is this justice? Is justice served? Is this what you want to see? Do you care? Do you not care? Humble, give me your thoughts.
Sorry, I had to unmute.
You're good.
Yeah, I'm so done hearing about this guy. It's like
So this may be the last time.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
One more.
I know, right? It's like, okay, great. Wonderful. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't even care about him. I don't.
Answer.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Phil, what do you think? Like, is this a nothing burger? Do we just like, it's like, okay, next story.
Well, number one, it's definitely a nothing burger. Number two, the takeaway is he obviously did not pay the same people that or make the same agreements that he made. Right.
Right.
Obviously, because I mean, like,
Maxine Waters did not come to his sentencing or his hearing. That's for sure.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
And what's his name? Who just got?
He also didn't get a thank you letter from the Trump campaign.
Right. Who was the guy from Binance? Why am I forgetting his name?
CZ.
Yeah. So it's like, when you get you have to. Kwon has to work on his politics, man. His networking. He's probably an engineer. Like me and you. It's like our networking is like, oh, go figure. Michael Saylor's not retweeting my stuff. Why? Because I want to be. It's about the numbers. It's like, look at your stock, and it's like, no, all I have to do is like say the right things and write a nice letter, and maybe his sentence would have been reduced to 2 years.
I guess. He was wrapped up, wasn't it? Fortress Trust. It was Prime Trust and then Fortress Trust. Didn't they like dabble with Terra Luna? You guys remember that?
I thought it was Galaxy Digital.
Yeah, there was Galaxy Digital.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been them as well.
Fortress Trust was involved in everything.
Fortress Trust was involved in a bunch of other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They lost, didn't they lose a bunch of Bitcoin supposedly?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Customer funds that they had to then make whole. Anyways, that was a terrible story.
Yeah.
The Fortress Trust one, I mean, that was just absolutely brutal, right? And then of course, you have the link with Swan to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you got this company that's got the Bitcoin only wrapper and everything. And even though, I get it, right? Like they're just your back end, but guess what? You chose them.
Mm-hmm.
You picked them. Nobody else picked them. It wasn't your customer that said, you know what, pick that as your custodian.
I mean, they picked Tether too. It's like the people, moms in the room would call them like, make sure you have a good people picker, right? When you're picking a mate, a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever. So it's make sure. Moral of the story, guys, make sure you have a good people picker. Phil, bring us home.
All right. Oh yeah, we're done. Okay. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap up this episode of Bitcoin Tonight. We will be back next Monday. Next Monday is going to be crazy, right? That's going to be like our Christmas special. We've already got the Christmas pack.
Bitcoin Tonight.
That's right. The Bitcoin Tonight Christmas special. Look, you're even going to get a teaser.
Oh, that's a surprise. I didn't know that was happening.
Look, okay. Well,
now,
I don't know
for those people who thought I was a Grinch, look how much I responded to the Christmas decorations.
It's amazing. And there's no people celebrating on there.
No, there's no people celebrating there. But the one thing I find weird,
Canada.
Boxing Day. Yeah, Boxing Day is a Canada thing. Like, what the hell is that? I'm Canadian, but I'm just saying, like, that's not a holiday. Okay,
right.
Going and returning your crap is not a holiday, because that's really what Boxing Day is, right? It's just everybody goes and returns their stuff.
I don't think I figured that out until I was like 25 years old.
Don't some people open up Christmas presents at night? Because I remember watching old Christmas shows where it's like the kids would open up gifts and it was nighttime.
At midnight, yes. And that's
what's up with that? Or that's midnight, so that's midnight between Christmas Eve and Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, they're greedy. My mom would make me sweat. My parents would make me like, it would be 10:30. It's like, hold on, I'm making breakfast. Hold on a minute. Like, I'm drinking my coffee. I'm like jumping off of walls trying to get to the gifts. And it's like them little British kids got to open them up on midnight. Man.
And when I found out that people were opening up gifts on Christmas Day, I was like, how the hell are you waiting? It's like, what the hell's going on here?
You were at midnight too?
Oh, yeah. That's the way my family, absolutely.
I groomed myself. I started meditating at like 11. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I know I'm getting the video game. I just got to wait 6 more hours. I'm getting my N64. I just got to wait. I mean, my parents hooked me up, but I was still sweating, like just waiting to tear that big box open. They started learning to trick me. Like they would hide. I would open up everything. Then all of a sudden it's like, okay, that's it. I'm like, okay. Like they didn't do it this time. They say, what is this?
Oh, it's great.
Crazy.
Okay, did you guys have family? This is the last thing I'll ask, and then we'll close it out. But did you guys have anybody in your family that used to dress up as Santa?
No.
Okay, so in my family, my uncle would dress up as, and he would rent the suit and everything. Okay, so one year, right, we're at my cousin's house. I'm all excited. Santa Claus shows up at the front door, not down the chimney, right? Don't come down the chimney. He shows up at the front door and he rings the doorbell. Anyway, we're all excited. We're kids, super pumped. You sit on Santa's lap and they give you your gifts and all this good stuff. Super pumped. And then after we open up our gifts, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go wandering around. I'm going to go explore. I go upstairs to the parents' bedroom. And what do I see on the bed? The Santa outfit. I was crushed. I was still at the age where I could still believe. Right, like the intense, like this is possible that this guy goes around and he hands out gifts to all the kids that are good around the world. Right, like this was totally plausible, and I just was too young and stupid to understand how it was being done. Right?
Spoiler alert.
Right, yeah, and then I saw the suit and I was like, oh man, what a scam. But I couldn't tell. But I didn't tell my cousins. I didn't tell my younger brother. I didn't want to ruin it for them because I was like, it's okay that it's ruined for me, but I can't ruin it for them. Anyways, good times. Yeah. That's going to do it for us, though, guys. There's the anecdotal Christmas story. And yeah, tomorrow, back 12:10 p.m. Eastern, we are going to dive into the news as always. And guys, we will be back. Bitcoin tonight. Not tonight, but next Monday night, 8 p.m., talking about all the drama. And like I said, it's going to be a Christmas special. So it's going to be festive, right?
I'll try not to be so angry.
Yeah. We're gonna try. Because it's a Christmas special. Maybe we replace the pettiness with joyfulness. We replace the bitterness with happiness.
Well, which one of you
replace
is
85,000 Bitcoin with maybe 95,000 Bitcoin?
Yeah. So is it Phil or Ulric that's gonna dress up as Grinch? Which one? Both?
I don't have a. I do have a Santa hat somewhere. I'll wear my Santa hat.
I'm wearing a costume already. That's what the skin suit is. We're all wearing costumes.
Oh yeah.
Costume. All right. We can get into the whole theory. You know what? Maybe we'll do that. We'll talk about the different alien factions. I'm convinced that we have an alien faction that is trying to keep us on Earth, while we have another alien faction that is trying to get us off the Earth so that we can move consciousness through space. Anyways,
awesome.
Not part of the Christmas story, but just
maybe we can reserve that one for the New Year's one.
All right,
drinking a whole bottle of champagne, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Are we going to do one of those like drunken New Year's episodes or something? I don't really drink.
I don't know. We can do an additional New Year's episode, but I was thinking I'll drink on one of the days, and I'll just have a bottle of champagne.
Well, we're not doing eggnog.
We're not getting
wrecked by
the algorithm.
I love eggnog, and I have it, and I'm ready. Yes.
Okay, good. There we go.
Oh, absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's all partake in some eggnog with alcohol. What is
That's right.
Is it rum or whiskey you put in? I don't even know.
Rum. Okay. To my knowledge, it's rum. I've never actually added alcohol to eggnog because I always just wanted to drink the eggnog.
I don't do egg anything.
Forget about the egg. It's fake. Okay.
Yeah.
Fake. You don't even taste it.
It's just diabetes in a glass.
Yeah, pure diabetes. Yeah. Like you just feel your limbs going numb. Like by the end of that glass, your foot's just completely dead.
Terrible.
All right, we're done. We're done ruining everyone's evening. Guys, if you appreciate and find value in what we're doing, consider subscribing to us. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us, and I will see you all tomorrow, and we will see you all next week. Have a great evening.